or WhatsApp 050-554-6030 for your copies.
Hello and welcome to ENCORE, the Facebook live platform on which we discuss all things relationship, love, and sex. They call me Uncle WHYTE. I am the CEO of Roverman Productions, but for the purposes of this platform, I am dedicated and committed to helping you become your very best self, especially in the area of your relationships. Now, if you are joining us for the first time, we do this every Friday at 12:30 GMT, and it's a 1 hour program. So we ask you to make a commitment of 1 hour. And we would like to thank you for joining us. For the community, the regulars, welcome. I am so grateful to you. I don't take the fact that you weekly make a commitment and investment to be with us for granted. So thank you very much. And a special thank you to those of you who were able to make it to the woman in the bathroom. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to hear what your comments are. There are a few people that I'd like to acknowledge. Every week I try to acknowledge a few people. Not all of you, but just a few. So Stephen Asamoah, you are online. Thank you very much. Mami Efua Oforiwa, Nana Jua, Nadiva, Love Chichi. Love Chichi, is that your nickname or something? It's a nice name. That's what I'm asking. It doesn't. Parents often don't give us nice names like this. I'm sure you went to pick it yourself. Fia, Odette, Kofi Dakon, Jennifer Young, Nana Kojo Boutros. Nana Kojo, you almost sound like an Egyptian. You remember Boutros Ghali? And then Rita Otabil, hey, any relation to the Otabil? And then Judith Sampson. You are all welcome, and all the rest of you whose names I would be mentioning subsequent weeks. So let's get on with our business for this week. I'm going to begin by posing a question. It is a question one of my staff members asked me recently, and this is the question. Why does a woman who stretches a man before marrying him end up being so badly treated by the same person, by the same man? Why? He recounted a number of cases where the woman said no, the man went all over, pulled heaven and earth, and then finally the woman says yes, and then a few years later, the man becomes a monster to the same woman that he was pleading and begging for. The scenario goes like this. Let's say Kofi loves Amma to bits, but Amma cannot stand him. He goes crazy over her. When she coughs, he runs. Then people begin to call Amma to tell her that she should give Kofi a chance. Seeing the way Kofi seems so committed to her, so much into her, at least give him a chance. And then people from her own side also begin to join in the chorus and begin to say, oh, what are you doing to Kofi? Kofi, the guy loves you. The guy loves you. Now, and they are doing that because people like Kofi, they reach out to everybody in your network. Everybody in your network. And everybody loves them because they see how much he seems to be so much into you. Well, finally, after about 5 years, Amma decides to give Kofi a chance. They marry. Kofi is the happiest man alive because this is all he wanted for life. 3 years later, he is mistreating Amma and going out of his way to make her as miserable as he can. Question, what is going on here? Answer, LIMERENCE. 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 Big word, but the reality it covers is even bigger. So what is LIMERENCE? LIMERENCE is a term that was coined by psychologist Dorothy Tenoff in her 1979 book, Love and Limerence, the experience of being in love. It can be described as, and I'm quoting her, an acute involuntary longing for emotional connection, obsessive, compulsive thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and emotional dependence on another person. In layman's terms, that's what I just gave you is academic. In the layman's terms, being madly in love with someone when that person does not return your love or treats you with contempt, but you don't care. You love this person, and that is all that matters. The worst case of limerence is being married but badly in love with another person. And that is the worst possible case. Limerence, according to research, every research on it, is a result of biochemical processes in the brain. In other words, it is not you. It is some chemicals messing up with you. And yet you think, this is my feeling. This is me. This is me on this thing. Limerence can drive people to extremes in the pursuit of the object of their affection. I'll give you two cases. I didn't know there was a term for this, but it is a phenomenon that I have seen a few times. The first happened with a classmate of mine when we were in secondary school. We were in Form 5. He fell in love with a girl in Form 3. And all he wanted was just to be with this girl. And the girl just could not stand him. The girl would snub him, but he would keep on fighting back. He would keep fighting back. When school is on vacation, he will go and stand behind the wall of the girl's house, hoping to catch a glimpse of the girl walking through the compound. That's all. And just the sight of her is enough. He will come back to campus happy. Oh, I went and saw her. I saw her, and he's so excited about it. You know, this was one of the brightest guys in our class, but he failed the exams because he could not get his thoughts off this girl to concentrate on her studies. The second case I came into contact with was when I was in Youth for Christ, and there was a young, one of our young members, a lady, a boy just was so much into her. She could not stand him, but the boy could go and he wakes up from his house and goes to this girl's house and can sit there the whole day. Never mind that the girl won't even greet him or talk with him. He's there. It's all right. He can see her going up and down. For him, that is all that is needed. It's called limerence. Now, some people have called it very humorously as affection deficit disorder. And they are right. It is a disorder. Albert Walking, an expert in limerence and a professor of psychology at Sacred Heart University, defines limerence as, quote, compulsory longing for another person. It's a compulsory involuntary longing for another person. It is estimated that 5% of the population at any time struggles with limerence. So 1 in every 20 people you meet is suffering with it, struggling with it. 1 in 20, think about that. Now, it is very difficult to recognize and objectively evaluate the signs of limerence when you are in this altered state. But Tenoff and the other researchers have identified the following as the core characteristics of them. So I'm going to give the characteristics of somebody, and I'm going to use you. So it's about you. 1, you idealize the other person's characteristics, positive and negative. The person who has become the object of your affection, you only think of the best possible light for their positive and negative traits. You can't see the negative. Everything, she's so wonderful or he's so wonderful even when he's not. 2, you cannot help but think of the person all the time. It is uncontrollable. It is intrusive. So next time when you tell somebody that you know you are always on my mind, go to a psychologist. There's something wrong with you. It's called limerence. It's a disorder. 3, you are convinced that you cannot live without this person. That's limerence. That's when you say foolish things like, oh, he was created for me. What do you think you are? Who created who for you? Or she's just for me. Or I am born just for her. 4, you are extremely shy and nervous and confused around the person. You are normally a bubbly, articulate person, but when that person is around, you cannot speak. I've seen that happen to 2 people in my team here. We got some guests in here. And for the period that the guests were here, they couldn't open their mouth to say anything. 5, you live with the fear of being rejected by this person, and the very thought that the person may reject you drives you to despair and to thoughts of suicide if it should happen. 6, you experience a sense of euphoria, and you feel like you are walking on air whenever that person seems to return your love just a little bit. So if you call and she picks the call, you are just excited. Never mind that she picked the call just to tell you off. You are just happy. I spoke with her. And then you are so happy, you want to broadcast to the whole world, I spoke with her. 7, you desperately read into every action of that person to see signs that he or she feels something small for you. You are always, do you know, when she came, she looked at me, she smiled. You are desperately reading into every action of this person. 8, everything around you reminds you of that person. Everything, whether it's connected or not, it reminds you of this person. 9, you replay in your mind every encounter with this person in great detail. You can spend the whole night going over the meeting you had or the near meeting you had with this person over and over and over. And 10, the more that person seems not to care, the more effort you put in. The more she pushes you away, the more you intensify your efforts. And the higher gear you go to. 11, you arrange your schedule to increase the chances of meeting and seeing this person. You go to every extent. You plan and strategize just so you can run into this person accidentally. You understand? There's nothing accidental. You have planned it. You go out of your way. You want to see this person. You want to meet this person. You want to go to where you are likely to encounter her or him. Whether the person looks at you or knows you are there or not, no. LIMERENCE does not make you mind. You don't mind at all. 12, you experience physical symptoms such as trembling, heart palpitations, and weaknesses in the knee whenever you are around this person. 13, you analyze over and over every word and gesture to determine what they mean. The person says something, and you're trying to read into it, and you are reading something in there. If she says, go with you, she said, go with you. She didn't say, go away you. So it means that there's something there, it's coming. It's just, something is coming. 14, you feel so intensely about this person that you don't care what you sacrifice and what you neglect. You care, everything in your life stops just for this person. That is all you care about. 15, you manage to emphasize what is truly admirable about this person, and you avoid dwelling on anything negative, or you put a positive attribute even to the negative ones. 16, for you, securing this person's affection takes precedence over earning their respect, earning their commitment, or even having a physical intimacy, or even their love. You don't care. You are not asking for them to respect you. You are not even asking for them to go to bed with you. You are not even asking for them to love you. You are just asking for them to just know you are there and pay you attention. 17, the harder the chase becomes, the more difficulties you encounter, the more obstacles you confront, the more you intensify your efforts. These are cases where you could go and visit her. Her parents can unleash the dogs on you, and you run faster than Usain Bolt, jump the gate, and then stay the rest of the night at the gate because you are, quote unquote, in love. 18, you persist in the pursuit at the expense of everything else, including your career, your dignity, your friends, and even your marriage. 19, you stop having a life of your own. And 20, If you are married, you neglect your spouse, your children, and you focus exclusively on this person. That is where some people who do not know anything say, oh, that girl has passed somewhere with him. No, it is not juju. It is not demon. It is called limerence. It has a name. It is an emotional disorder. Now, I'd like to jump. I was going to give you, our time is running so fast. I was going to give you some of the features of limerence, but I don't think we'll have the time for that. So let me jump on to just two features. One is that limerence is being in love with the idea of someone, not the real person, because you really don't get to know the person, but just the idea of that person. And it can wear off unannounced. You know, it comes giddy, 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 giddy. How long does it stay? Sometimes a few months. But there are cases where it has stayed for 2 decades. So can you imagine 20 years of an emotional disorder? Your life is on hold. You are sacrificing everything for something that you know will never be returned. Now, there are 4 situations where that stops limerence, that makes it cease. 1, when it is consummated. In other words, when the person, the object, returns your attention and affection, then it cools down. Now, at that point, you can make the transition into a much more healthy love relationship, or that is where the foolishness begins. That is where the person now that the feelings are gone, begins to now target the woman he has married or the man she has married and make life hell for them. 2, starvation. Limerence ceases when the object of the affection does nothing to further it. Just kills it. Just decide no, 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 and stops every contact with this person and does not tolerate it in any way. Eventually, it goes because, you know, it's hormones and they will change. They will go away. 3, transformation. And that's when the limerence is transferred to a new object. So here's the person fighting for your love, fighting for your love. Then all of a sudden, a new girl comes into church and he doesn't know you anymore. Everything is gone. Limerence has been transferred to a new object. And then 4, when you the person who is limerent. If you are the person suffering it, you are called limerent. If you are the person who is the target, you are the limerent object. When the limerent, begin to discover that, you know something, I think I deserve better than this. And then you evolve. You embrace your own purpose in life. You accept your life, yourself, and you begin to realize that, look, I deserve better than this. And then you then move on. That is when, those are the 4 situations where it ends. Let's quickly look at how to deal with limerence. When you are the limerent, when you are the person smitten so badly that you are doing the chasing or the yearning and the longing, how do you deal with it? 1, know what it is and know the signs. You've got to understand that this is not love. This is a step away from madness. It's an emotional disorder. You know. 2, don't lose yourself. Stay connected with the people who know you and who love you. In other words, don't spend every time going after this person. You have a life. Pay attention to it. You have friends in your life. You have family. Pay attention to them. You have work to do. Pay attention to it. 3, if you have lost touch with yourself, don't hide. Begin to share what feels even shameful with the people you trust. Let them know, I don't know, this is what is going on. That girl, when I see her, then everything becomes bizarre. Something they say may help you. 4, give yourself time. Let your neurochemicals and your hormones calm down. And then you may discover that you are free. And this goes to, so whenever you feel this strong desire, compulsive desire to be close to somebody and to make contact with somebody, sleep on it. Not even for a day. Wait, let's see. Every now and then you may discover, oh, you wake up one day and it's gone. So, 5, don't always act on your emotions and your feelings. The mere fact that you want to talk so much with this girl doesn't mean you should. Wait. Test it to see whether this is truly what it should be. 6, don't make assumptions and don't make excuses for that person. The person does not return your call and you say, oh, maybe he's busy. Oh, he's very, very busy. He's a very busy man. No, he is not calling because he doesn't care. Face it. 7, accept the fact that you'll be okay with or without this person. Don't believe that without this person your life is over. No. You had a life before you met this person. You continue to have a life. 8, watch certain statements and attitudes that may come from your mouth. For instance, don't say, whenever you find yourself saying, I can't live without this person, go and check. You have become limerence. When you say things like, we are made for each other. Really? No. That is limerence. Or, he makes me come alive. No. It may sound nice, it may be good raps, but it is limerence. You are suffering limerence. It's an emotional disorder. Get yourself healed. Or, he or she is the reason I live. Really? That's all my life purpose. My life purpose is this person. We need to lay hands on you and pray for you. Something is wrong with you. 9, understand that limerence is not love. On the other hand, it keeps you from love. So, try and overcome it. 10, get focused. Find a major distraction for your life. Throw yourself into something new and exciting, some new and exciting project. Focus on your own life and not on their life. So don't wake up in the morning and the first thing you are wondering is, oh, what's she doing? What's he doing? Has he woken up now? No, you have woken up. Live your life. And don't bother about them. 11, think your own thoughts. Stop wondering what the other person is thinking or feeling. 12, engage fully in your life, in your hobbies. Engage with your friends again and your family relations. So if it is possible, join an active group and go and do things with new people. 13, if you are married, resolve never to do something for this third party that you have not and will not do for your spouse. It's a good saying that will save you embarrassment and pain. So if you have never given your wife a lift, you can't give this person a lift. If you've never given your wife your car, your new car to drive, please don't give it to this girl to drive. If you've never given your wife money to go and do her hair, please don't give this girl money to go and do her hair. It will help you because a lot of married people, all your love and tenderness comes only when you are dealing with this person, but not at home, not with your spouse and your family. 14, know your worth. Know your own worth. Look in the mirror every day and say, I am worth loving. I am worth being loved. 15, get honest about what you are feeling. Examine your relationship patterns and don't deceive yourself. Just find out, okay, so from my previous relationships, the science is giving, maybe I've been limerent in the past. And then be mindful of that. And then trust that your heart will heal. Trust that your heart will heal. You won't die. 17, cut the ties that bind you to this limerent object, to this person. So if it is the same committee in church, withdraw from it. If it is in the same department, see if you can ask for a transfer so you can create that, or look for a new job. And 18, take a leap of faith into the unknown. In other words, let this person go. Something better will come. You would heal, and you can move on. Because sometimes the fear is that, hey, I've chased this girl for 5 years, even though she's never looked at me. But if I stop now, what am I going to do? No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Now, those were how to deal 18 points in dealing with limerence when you are the limerent when you are the limerent person. Now, what about if you are the object? If you are the person, this person is making life so difficult for you, what should you do? 1, don't send mixed signals. There are people who realize this person is so much into me, and then one day they are hot, another day they are cold. One day they smile with the person, they pick the call, and they tolerate the call. Another day they are not picking the call. You are keeping this person suffering from this emotional disorder suffering. So don't send mixed messages. You don't like the person, you don't like the person. You don't love the person, you don't love the person. 2, don't take advantage of that person. The person is vulnerable, will do anything to make you happy. That doesn't mean you should do it. So for instance, if you want to travel to Tamale in style from Accra, don't call that person who you know will do anything for you and ask you, I want to go to Tamale, can you drive me? Can you give me a lift to Tamale? You know he will do it. Even if he has to go and borrow a better car, he will do it. But don't do it. You are taking advantage of the poor guy. 3, recognize that what that person is feeling towards you is not love. Sometimes it may be flattering to see that this person who is so much into me, hey, it is not love. It is an emotional disorder. Don't mistake it for love. The person doesn't love you. He's in trouble because his neurochemicals are messing up in his mind big time. 4, don't yield to pressure to say yes to this person. And that's what happens in society, especially in Ghana. When people see this limerent person chasing you, coming and sitting down for hours, just waiting for your attention, and if you don't give him attention, he doesn't mind, he'll come back tomorrow. And they say, oh, my Ajua, what are you doing to him? And mind him small, mind him, the guy, he loves you, or he loves you. They put in pressure on you. Sometimes his parents will call you and beg you, marry our child small for us. Now, your own friends, because what people like that do is that they conquer all your friends. They are nice to all your friends. They do things for all your friends. So your friends think, oh, this is such a wonderful person. He's so much into you. What are you doing? You are doing the right thing. Say no. 5, don't settle. What I mean is this. This guy's been chasing you for 5 years. In the 5 years, you said no. You know you can't stand this guy. You feel nothing about this guy. Then 5 years later, you wake up and say, hey, hold on. It's been a long time since anybody proposed to me. Well, maybe since this guy is there, let me take him like that. Hey, you are taking trouble like that. Don't do it. Don't settle. The limerent person is ill emotionally. Don't go in there. Otherwise, you have just signed your warrant to be miserable. 6, be firm and stay firm. In other words, when you say no, say no. When you're not picking his calls, don't pick his calls. If you say, don't call me again, don't pick any call. Don't read any message. Delete. As soon as you see it's from that person, delete. And people like that, you say, don't call me again, and you are not picking their call, they'll go and use somebody's number to call you. As soon as you get to know that he's the person there, cut it. Trust me, you'll be doing him a favor. Because remember, the 4 situations and circumstances under which limerence go, one of it is starvation. Starve this person of your attention, and hopefully he will heal and move on. 7, don't feel sorry or responsible for this person. You are not responsible for this person. And don't go and say that, oh, you know, because of me, he can't sleep. He can't sleep. And they say he can't eat. People will call you and say, oh, what have you done to Ajua? Ajua has not eaten for 2 weeks. So it's a good thing to fast. Maybe. So let her fast if she wants to fast. Don't be sucked into this with your sympathy. Don't be responsible. Especially when the person calls you and say, or sends a message and say that if you don't call me, I'll commit suicide. If you get out of my life, I'll commit suicide. You know something? Let them commit suicide. The secret is this. Those who will really commit suicide, they don't announce it. So if anybody tells you, I'll commit suicide, that's somebody who doesn't want to commit suicide. If you hear that a person committed suicide later, he did it by mistake. It wasn't intended. But because we are people who want to commit suicide. Before you hear, they've done it. But don't be sucked into feeling sorry for this person and feeling responsible for this person. It is through no fault of yours. When you haven't done anything, you are not responsible for anything. Move away. Move. And they tell you that, oh, he's at the hospital. He's been admitted at the hospital. And all he wants is to see you. Don't go. Don't go. You are not a painkiller. And 8, ignore the pleas of others. When people come in pleading for this person, ignore them. They don't know what they are talking about. Because if you make the mistake to say that, oh, okay, well, okay, all right, after all, what? Let me give him a little chance. Let me give her a little chance. You just signed your death warrant. That's my presentation on limerence. If you are not suffering it, if you are suffering it, it's possible you don't know because you rationalize, no, my feelings are genuine. Let me ask you this. The person you've been chasing for all these years, has she shown any care or concern for you? If not, you are limerent. You deserve better. In true love, the person will respond to you. If this person is not responding positively, after all your efforts, back off. And if you can't back off, you need help. And if you are the object and you said no and this person keeps on coming, don't give it as an excuse. But he keeps coming. It doesn't matter. That's his job. He will keep coming. You too, keep saying no. Keep slamming the door on his face. Keep releasing the dogs on him. One day, they may be able to eat him up. It sounds a hard thing to do, but trust me, it's the kindest and nicest thing you can do to a limerent person because he is sick. That's why we say, he loves me like crazy. The operative word is on love. It's crazy. He's crazy. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope you are not limerent. But I also hope that if you are the limerent object, you'll find strategies to end it. And end it you must. Because trust me, one day, if you go into this relationship, one day it wears off and he will turn on you like a monster because he is already mentally unstable. And he will visit that on you. Well, I'd like to thank you one more time for staying with me. We'll pause here, take a little break, and when we come back, let the interaction in the community begin, and I'll take your questions. I'll be right back. If you see me sweating, it's because we're doing this without power. Let me correct that, because then you ask, how come we are doing it? We're doing this without any of our systems here because there's power off in the neighborhood. But we're doing this because we didn't want to miss interacting with you today. So sweating while doing this for you is the least I can do for you because of your commitment to this platform. And that is not being limerent. I'll see you soon.
Honey, I have laid the bed. Baby, honey, tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal, and Perfect Couple by Uncle White at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and total filling stations. For inquiries, call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 050-554-6030 for your copies.
Thought-provoking, motivational, inspirational, attitude, values, faith, soul-inspiring content, value for money. New Look, the magazine that reports on our values, attitudes, and faith for discerning people. Rover Report Monthly Magazine. Get your copies from all Shell shops, Total shops, and the supermarket near you. Or call 0302-231188 for subscription.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us. I'd like to say give a special shout out to Isaac Buama and
He made it.
and his wife Ifua. Tomorrow is a big day. Tomorrow is a big day. Isaac and Ifua, it will work, okay? It will work. It will work. It will work. And that's not a LIMERENCE case. This is a true love. So we'll see all the best. The whole team will be there tomorrow, so prepare for them. Now listen, Isaac, the team is coming. They don't like heavy food. No, they don't like heavy food. So don't serve them heavy food. They don't want heavy food like tea and this and no. Give them something light like bangkung and things like that, and fufu, and they'll be fine. Something very light, okay? All the best to you guys. All right, let's go.
Akuma's comment is, Uncle, I'm dealing with one pa. It's been 10 years, and the mere sight of him puts me off.
Yeah, Akuma, your best thing for him, your act of love towards him is to keep him off. Keep him off. Cut links. Don't encourage. Don't send mixed messages. Don't encourage it. Be as ruthless as you can. Trust me, it is in the interest of both of you.
Okay. Sergeant Major Classic says, thank you, Uncle White, for the great teachings that seek to end emotional frustrations that people have no idea about.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sergeant Major, I should have saluted, but thanks for your comments.
Okay, there's a question that keeps on repeating itself from lots of ladies. How different is LIMERENCE from infatuation, obsession, or a crush?
Infatuation tends to be for teenagers, and it wears off very quickly. A crush is an adult thing, but it is always the time limit, how long it goes. Maybe a week or so, it will go off. In LIMERENCE, there are two things. One is this compulsive thinking about this person. It's intrusive. No matter what you are doing, your life seems to come to a stop. Your life seems to come to a stop. Everything now revolves around that person. Everything. You are prepared to sacrifice everything for this person. And it can go for decades.
Uncle, how does LIMERENCE choose its objects?
Nobody knows. I mean, because you see, it is involuntary. It is not as if the person just decided that I'm coming after you. One day he's somewhere, another day he sees you, and the madness has come. You know, it's like asking, how does a mad person chooses where to be mad? It's an disorder. It just comes. The thing you can do is, once you understand, you can take steps to protect yourself and to win yourself out of it, because you can. Once it is not supported, it is not fed, it dies.
Vidi Nana Ekia says, Uncle, thank you so much. I get more educated on issues whenever I watch you. I am maturing as a result of what you educate us on. May God continue to grant you more wisdom to impact us, the younger ones. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Araba says, why does the limerence get abusive when it wears off?
I think it is overcompensation. Because he gets abusive because he feels saddled with you. Because don't forget that all the time he was chasing you, it was not love at all. I hope you understand. It was not love. So he wakes up out of it one day. The disorder wears off. And he discovers, I am saddled with this person. I don't love. And he wants to be free. He wants to be free of you. And so he will torment you. And what they are trying to do now is they want to force you out. They want to create the situations where it is so bad that you will say, I am going. So that they can say that I didn't sack her, I didn't sack him, she went, or he went. Because he would have remembered all the years and all the effort he had put in to try to get you. And he knows, how do I justify it? He can't explain. So he then instead of saying, look, I never loved you all these 5 years that I was prepared to do everything for you, he can't say that. So then he makes life so difficult for you that you becomes the one. Those are the people who tell you that you can leave. If you want to leave, leave. You can go for the divorce forms, I'll sign. No, if you want to divorce a person, divorce a person. So if you find anyone telling you can leave, if you want to go to court, and ask for divorce. That was a relationship that was born out of limerence.
Mami Efua says, my partner caught me dealing with this guy and I can't stop talking to him too. I fall sick if he doesn't talk to me just a day. And right now I'm sick because I have not been able to reach him in the past 2 weeks. It's taking over me.
It will take over you, but Mami, just stop making the effort to reach him. You'll heal eventually. It will wear off. And remember the things we shared. You deserve better than this. It is not love you are feeling. It may feel that way. I may not be able to convince you, but trust me, you don't love this person. It is an emotional disorder. Get yourself back on track.
Lord says, Uncle, I've been transferred from Accra to another region, and my girlfriend is pregnant, just a little over a month. I want to go and see her parents with my parents, but I'm skeptical because I need her now that she's carrying my kid. I'm also wondering what her parents will say and what I'm going to... what should I do, not knowing her parents' actions? Should they also... but I want to marry her.
Lord, our culture gives us very, very easy ways to deal with this. And it is this. Don't go to see her parents. Let some people go on your behalf. Okay? Get some elderly people to go on your behalf to see the parents. Then all their anger, her parents' anger will be given to these people. And they can't be that angry. They can't be that angry. So by the time you come to meet them, you come in the company. So never go alone. Don't go alone. Then they will that's when they will tell you that their daughter was to become the first professor in the family, and you stopped because of the pregnancy. She had to stop her schooling and all that, and they can make hell for you. So look for some elderly people. Tell them exactly what has happened. Brief them well. Don't send them on a fool's errand. Brief them well. Let them go on your behalf. They will go introduce themselves. We are representing our son called Lord. This is what has happened, and things like that. Now, if she's from a good home, this is what will happen. They won't allow you to marry her while she's pregnant. They will make you wait for her to give birth. Then after that, you will be required to go and name the child. And on that day when you are naming the child, you will then tell the family what your long-term plans are for their daughter. So follow these steps and you'll be cool.
Ifwa is asking, Uncle, has bipolar disorder got anything to do with this situation?
No, there are two different things are in there, because bipolar doesn't have to even be in a romantic setting at all. That's you being two personalities at the same time. No, they are very different.
So this question is coming in different ways from different people. It says, what do you do when you have become a spouse as a result of somebody's limerence?
You become the spouse.
You have become, the person has married you as a result of
their
suffering
limerence.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Pray that yours become one of the few cases where the transition is made from this false love into true love. Because limerence falls under the category of false love. Pray that it is able to do that. Because there are cases where it has done that, where it has been able to transition from this unhealthy obsessiveness into a healthy, normal relationship, now that it's been consummated. But don't go to your partner and say that is that what you've done to me? You are limerent, and then you came for me. He will show you what limerence means. So don't do that, but watch out for the signs. And if it gets to the point where he's mistreating you and is pushing you to be the one to go and look for the divorce, bring people in and let them confront him.
Okay, from Dorothy. Uncle, for 14 good years, he keeps coming. I've advised him, his parents, friends, anybody I can talk to regarding this problem, to get him a girlfriend. Yet I keep receiving calls from his girlfriends claiming he's always talking about me. Uncle, inti yare ibede.
Dorothy, you gave it the right name. Yaria. Yaria. Continue to cut him off. Be firm. Is the only way you can deal with this. Be firm. One day he will wake up and it's gone. But for now, 14 years, some people have done longer. I was giving my people the case I know that has been gone for 30 years and counting. So don't let off your guard. Don't ever get to the point and say, okay, then after all, let me say yes. No. You'll be making the worst mistake of your life.
Chris Cote says, good afternoon, family. Uncle Ebo, I was at the last Saturday with my daughter 4 p.m. show. We sat on the first seat hoping to meet you, but you went backstage. Oh, the 15-year-old little girl was craving for kebab at the entrance, so we left without meeting you. The woman in the bathroom was superb, and we are patiently waiting for the one man stand-up comedy you promised, though.
So are my staff. They keep reminding me. This is Pampa I made in January, and my staff, I thought they had forgotten, but they are not forgetting. But I'm ready. I'm preparing for that, and we'll do it. But for all the digital family, listen, I'll give you a preview of it when I'm ready. So you will see about 5 to 10 minutes of it on one of the episodes when I'm ready, before the public gets to know it.
Ish.
And if you get to know it, if you see that 10 minutes and you don't come to the National Theatre, then you are limerent.
Oh, right. From Michael. Uncle, thanks for this particular topic. Now, what do you say to those who are so kind-hearted that they find others, not one person, taking advantage to request favors endlessly?
Well, grow and be firm. Remember, if you are kind to the point where it hurts you and works against you, then it's not kindness. It's a weakness. It's a disorder. Maybe you don't feel good about yourself, and you think that the only way people would accept you is when you are doing things for them. But remember, you are worth more than you think, and don't be a slave to anybody.
Caroline says, truly, Uncle Ebo, God bless you. I've learned a lot. Can I qualify it for a psychiatric disorder? I've seen people present with anorexia and other related symptoms just because of love.
Yes.
Is it not the same thing that makes people commit suicide?
It is. It is, in its worst form. In its worst form. There's a spectrum for it. There's a very bad case, and then there's the light one. It's like malaria. Some people, a little feverishness. Some people, too, it kills them.
From Caroline again.
From who?
Caroline.
You won't believe what I heard.
Oh, Jesus. From Caroline.
I'll tell you guys after when we go off camera.
From Caroline again. Can you be friends after he has healed?
Please let him be.
Oh,
okay.
Caroline, this one, dear.
Let him be. Let him be. How do you know you don't go and waking up the whole thing all over again? Remember, missed messages. If you send missed signals, it would keep the thing prolonged.
Pamela says, "Hi, Uncle. Can
Hi.
you tell me why my kids keep fighting between themselves?"
They are bonding. They are bonding. And then watch out. How many toys do they have? Give them toys. Maybe they don't have enough room. Children must play. They must jump. They must burn energy. So find out whether you have created a situation where they can burn the energy. Give them that room. But it's interesting, you know, the siblings that fight when they are younger, when they grow old, they have a beautiful relationship because it's bonding. Parents, you don't know. You don't understand them. You know, they will fight and so they will sit together and talk. And then they will fight again. It's their form of bonding.
Uncle from Queen. Uncle, what if the person is an ex? Who is doing... What if the person doing this to you is an ex? Yeah.
Doing what to you?
Let me see.
Well, if it's an ex, keep him as an ex and then leave it there.
Francisca. Yeah, oh, I've seen Francisca. Okay. From Francisca. Hey, Uncle Kabute was the busiest and most sought after person on the 2nd. I went almost everywhere looking for him. This is not limerence, I beg.
Oh my God! Oh, Francisca, I'm sorry. Oh, you want to do so?
All right. Francisca, thanks for your sense of humor.
Ancestor says, Uncle, it is hard though. Me, I used to go pass by her house like an assemblyman for her area.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you, as an assemblyman, there are people who stand guard as if they are the security guard for the house. you go past. There are people who station themselves there. But the way you're talking, I hope you've gotten over it, and all the best.
After the $300 on the lunch, he has gotten over it.
He spent what?
300.
What are you talking about? $300 is nothing. Let me tell you something. A man I know, when I was growing up at South Centreso, became limerent over one of our neighbors. He was a big man at CMB, Cocoa Marketing Board. He had come stationed at the head office here in Accra. He had come to Kumasi when he met this woman. He doesn't know the woman from anywhere. Had this limerence over this woman that when, after the funeral, when he was leaving Kumasi and discovered that the woman does not have a car that takes her to the market, he left his car and the driver in Kumasi to service this woman. You, 300, you say what? The car stayed with the woman for 3 weeks until the driver complained to head office. And head office sent someone to come for the car.
This is corporate limerence.
He had dashed the car to the woman with the driver.
Oh dear.
Hey, it's a serious thing we are talking about.
Uncle from Anefi. Uncle, I have too many personal experiences. In fact, I am dealing with one now. A lady I met less than a week ago is proposing marriage to me already. She calls me at least 7 times every day. Uncle, Aden.
And if you want to add in,
Oh!
why are you picking the calls? Why are you Why are you sustaining this? Why are you
Where's
keeping this
Roxy?
going? Is it Anafi we know?
Yes.
Anafi, I will pound you. If you don't stop taking the calls, Sunday I'll pound you. I'll pound you. Anafi, stop taking the calls. She's suffering from limerence. And this cannot end well.
So far
So,
says,
Be merciful to her and cut it. Release her from her misery.
So far says, Uncle, we are married now. He's so terrible to me. And looking back, I think this is what it was.
Yes.
What do I do now?
Whoa. Get some people to come in. Get some counselors. If you are members of a church, get the pastors to come in or the leaders of the church. Let them sit him down and let them ask him one question. Do you want her or do you don't want her? If you don't want her, go do the right thing. Go see her people or go to court. Let's annul this. But don't punish her because she didn't do anything wrong.
Lord says, very, very true. Uncle, my little brother and I are the most close amongst our 9 other siblings. But when we were young, we fought to the point where he, the young, cries amazing times.
Yeah.
He also continues by saying, I now understand why my kid brother and I are like best friends.
Yeah,
He
you were
even named his boy after me.
No, you were bonding. You were bonding. You were bonding. I know because my kid brother, Kweku, and I were like that. And now we are, there's a certain therapeutic connection between us.
And Stester says, Uncle, the 300 is most times every weekend. Oh.
Jesus.
We go to the most expensive American restaurant in the state. Oh.
Why? Do you serve on GFA? Were you getting some money? Were you getting some money from somewhere? My goodness. Anyway, it's become part of your personal story. One day you tell it and your grandchildren will laugh. But for now, I hope you've healed and I hope you've moved on.
Good.
All right. Are we done?
Yeah.
All right. I'd like to thank you very much. I would like to thank my team for making me do this. I didn't want to do this. I was trying to chicken out of it. But at our review, they said, no, Uncle, you said you were going to do this. And so, but I'm happy we've done this. If you are limerent, please don't think that I am trifling your pain. I know it is through no fault of yours. I know you can't help it. But I pray that you find a grace to recover. If you are the object of a limerent person, I hope you'll be wise enough to cut it and to save this person from his misery, because that is what it is, misery. And do whatever you can. For the rest of you who have never suffered this, thank your God, because trust me, it's not an easy one. Well, until we meet again, God willing, next week. Oh, by the way, next week is 20th. It happens to be my birthday next week. What I would want from you is send messages of how this has meant to you, of what kind of impact this has been for you. And then if you have some nice words to say, I would say, oh, stop it, but I'll be happy to do it.
Oh my gosh!
So thank you. Thank you for staying. Stay blessed, and I'll see you on my birthday.
Oh, stop it.
Stop it! Stop it! Oh my God.
Hello. They call me Uncle WHYTE. I am the CEO of Roman Productions, but I'm also very much committed to helping you become